Hi guys, and welcome back to the Get Growth channel. I'm really happy you're back here. I'm Alexandra, one of the Squirrelians, and our topic for today is going to be the design and the configuring part of the Typeform online surveys. This is going to be the third and the last video I'm going to do about how to get growth out of Typeform. If you're interested on how to use other features that I'm not going to talk about today, you can check out the two videos I've done so far in the previous weeks. I've talked more about how to basically start creating your first forms in Typeform there, and also how you can use different features. In the last one, I focused a lot on the calculator and a lot of other features that I personally consider that are great for e-commerce sites. Now, before we start talking about Typeform today, I just wanted to let you know I had a great time last week when we had the live event with Florine presenting the New Squirrely 2018. I got to talk with you, a part of you, in the live chat moderating, but also I got to present some of the parts that I love a lot about the Squirrely 2018, and I'm really happy that you got to be part of the event here. Also, if you haven't watched the video, you can check it out in our video section here on YouTube on the Get Grow channel. You'll find the video, and there you'll see everything that me and Florine explained in the live event about how to use Squirrely 2018 at its full extent, and also how what are the new features and how it is improved from the older versions. So if you haven't checked that already, you can see the video after our live event today. Now we're gonna get started with the third video about Typeform. So we're here, as you know, we created the workspace, this one, test one, and the forms we have here. I'm just gonna go on the social media one. And today, as I said, we're not going to discuss about the building or the jumps, logical jumps, and other things you can do within it. You can check the first videos for that, but we're going to focus on design. Here's the design tab. You can find it up here. Okay. And basically, the things that you can customize within design are, first of all, the colors, the color scheme that you would like to use, the font, and of course, if you would like to integrate a background image. Now, to get to colors here, for each type form, you basically have a palette, usually of 4 colors here, that you can see throughout it. So basically, this is the color of the questions, the color of the buttons, the answer that you give, either if they're multiple choice or the one that is written text, and the background image. And the ways that you can change these colors to personalize them, basically, because we created both of these typeforms from templates that they offer, is to basically just choose a color from here. You can do that really easy. Let's say that we're going for blue, okay? And you can see that there. And let's choose a different color for the button. It's okay, so let's say this one's a good one. You also have the transparent here if you want to check that. So if you want to make it transparent and just have that blue color only when you hover over it. So it just has a tendency of blue. Okay, so I think that this is too cyan. Okay, so I think I like this colors. Okay, and now what I suggest, I think that this is really useful within the Typeform, is after you've changed the colors to look through the whole Typeform just to check that these colors go with everything that you have. If you're changing the design after you basically built the whole Typeform, you might have already chosen picture choice questions where you've integrated images, and it's great to see if the way that you've changed the color fits with that as well. So okay, so the way that you do it, you do it here in the preview, and you just get started. Okay, let's say this one. As you can see here, like the color for the answers, I haven't changed it. It's again black, and you can also reconsider this. Like for example here, I think that if the question is blue, I would like the answers to be blue as well. Okay, but keep on going, let's see, every week. Okay, so here's a good example of what I was saying, that it's really good to check, because these images were thought out to go really well with the first scheme that we had, the first color palette, and now they just don't fit as well, as you can see here. But yeah, but you can keep on choosing and looking through the whole process. Yeah. And as you can see, all these images were thought out for that one. Okay. And now let's just say that we're gonna answer to all these questions, but again, it's good to have an overview of it after you change it. So this is one way you can change the colors in your Typeform by custom changing it, but there's also the choice to have the palette. So basically, if I want to have something on the blue side, yeah, I can also choose this one, this color, or change the background as well to make it different, or the other way around here. Yeah, there are lots of palettes, exactly as there are lots of templates. Within Typeform, there are a lot of palettes you can choose from for your colors. This is one of the reasons that I, again, consider Typeform really great for surveying online, because you can basically choose from options they already let's say they've created for you. So like the templates, you already have those with built-in questions, you just have to personalize those. Again, here you have the options to customize it personal with exactly the color that you need, but at the same time you also have palettes that are already created, and you can just choose those and implement them into clicks. Okay, so let's say that these colors are not the right one, so I can just click here, revert, if you see this button here, right? I don't know if you actually see it. Let me see. I don't think that you see it from in the video, but it's down here on the right if you're using Typeform, just behind me basically. And you can click revert, and then all the options that you've done so far are going to go back to what you had last saved. Okay, and this is basically the palette. Now to go to fonts, basically I will go view my Typeform, refresh this, reload the Typeform just to see how the fonts change. On the first screen you have multiple parts of the messages that you get to see, and that's why I wanted to be this one. So you have different fonts you can choose from here. Let's say Arial or Dancing Script. Sorry. Okay, and Georgia, and other ones that you would like to choose. Now, if you want to choose different ones, I don't think you can choose different styles for different things, like for buttons one style and for others another one, but they do fit them well as size to that specific element. So for questions it's a larger font than for multiple choices. Okay, and this is one. And basically you have a long list of them. I don't think you can add new ones, but I don't think that you need to. I do consider that the templates come with really good fonts for what they're using. And now the third part that I want to talk about here is basically the background image. Now, some of the advantages that you have here is that once you upload one image, you can get to keep them. For example, here are a few of the background images that we've used in the past. Yeah, so I don't know how, yeah, I think you can see it here. That we've used for our Typeforms. And again, here's just a little, we played with the height of the table a little bit to see how much you can see it. And here are basically all the ones that we wanted to keep. If you want to delete one, there's a delete button you can see after you hover over the image. And I'm gonna upload a new one just so you can see how it looks. I think in downloads. Yeah, here there has to be an image called, yeah. So it's just a simple image that I took from a stock photography site to use it today, and you upload it as any other file. Yeah, as you can see, it has lots of details. I don't know if it fits with my particular palette, but what I wanted to show you is that you can adjust here the brightness. So if I put it to be really dark, it could work, maybe. Um, and you can also scale it. So basically, use it in as a zoomed picture, or repeat it if it's the case. But this image is really it's a really big one, or use it as a full screen where you get to fit it into the image and the device you have. Okay, and that's basically it for this part of the background. I'm just going to revert it because I don't think that that's the best option for background, but I wanted to show you how you can upload the image and insert it. Again, if you already have it, that's great. And now, if you're a designer, you might be really interested in all these details and how to change them. But if you're a marketer and you just want to make sure that your design looks good, one choice that you have here is to choose a theme and basically go here in the public themes, exactly as I was saying before, that you can find the templates and other and the palettes here. You can choose one of these to basically have within your Typeform. Yeah, is it reloading? I'm trying to apply this one, but I don't think it is. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, this one is working. So yeah, so basically you have the whole theme, and you can be pretty sure that these ones work depending on the images that you have, of course, here, but most of the times they're really well thought out to fit whatever options you have here. Yeah, and besides the fact that you have the public ones, you also have the my team kit library here. So basically, for each one that you create, you can save your theme there, and you can create multiple type forms and use the same theme without having to worry about the design. So one example here that you can see is this one that I've created with our designer Christina, and it has the font and the background image that we've used for several type forms we've created in the past. And that's really easy. I like that. So let's say that we're going for the navy theme, and now if you want to apply any of the design changes that you've made, you just have to click here on apply to Typeform here next to me. Just a button. It's loading. Okay. And as you can see, the design has been updated. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about in the design. You have the colors, the fonts, and the backgrounds. And again, you can choose themes or create your own. Before we're going to start discussing about the configure part of this video, I wanted just to tell you that there's an article from our site about marketing strategies you can apply on your own that also include the design that you have for different aspects in marketing. You can find the link in the description below. You should check that out also after this video. Okay, now in the configure, basically what you can do is the notifications that you get and the people that respond to you after they have finished the type form. So there's also the general settings that you have here. So basically you can change the way that the type form is called. This option, you can also do it here by clicking on the name, changing something if you want, and then just clicking OK. You can change the language. You can make the type form public or private. So this means that you can make it link access only. Like if someone has the link, they can go to it. Okay, type form branding. You can only take this out if you have, I think, the other plan. So not the Pro Plus that we have, but the Pro one. And redirecting after submitting. So basically you can choose here to redirect people from the page after they finish your type form to complete it to another page on your site or somewhere else. You can also establish your meta information. This is really important if you want your page that is containing the type form, or if you're just going to use the type form as is without integrating in your site, as I presented in the previous video. And you can basically created here. So if you're going to share it on social media, to have a great image for it, and the description and the meta information to be set into it. Now, the first aspect that I consider important in Configure is the self notification. So basically here you can decide where you would like, what email address you would like to get the notifications. I like this part because it doesn't matter if the account is on one email address or another. You can set it here for each Typeform you create to have a different address. You are receiving the notification that another response has been taken into account, and that's really great, especially if you have one account for your team for Typeform, but you have multiple people that need those Typeforms for different aspects, from marketing to maybe other internal aspects of human resources or other things that you would like to use the Typeforms. And after you decide what email address you want to send it on, you basically write the message that you would like to receive for each notification. So this is the title of the email here, and you can add variables here from the name of the Typeform, your email, the score if you have one calculated, the answer to any of the questions within the Typeform. Okay, and then the message, again here, this is the standard message with the link, so you can check the responses that you received once you get the notification, but you can also add all those variables within the text of the email. And if you want to get the notifications, you just have to press here and to get them on. I personally don't find that really useful to get them as emails because I get lots of emails each day, so I like to use other options that I'm going to talk about in a minute. Then you also have the respondent notification. So here it really depends what type of Typeform you have. So if it's for an e-commerce, I do think that you should consider to put this within it. But if you don't think that you're going to respond within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, especially if it's something that you need to respond, it's not just a simple survey that they're going to get at the end of it, an email, I don't think it's the best thing to send them an automated email. That's my personal opinion. So here, yes, in this Typeform, it cannot be applied, so I cannot put it on here because I don't really have a question where to take the email address from the responders. But you can add here a no reply, basically. So let's say here, or any address. I'm gonna say that it's for me, if it would be. Okay. And then you can have here, like, again, just like the other one, the subject that you would like to have and the message, and you can add as many variables as you need, either in the title or in the message, to make it more personal. Okay, and once you set that up, and you can just choose here yes, you can update the settings, and that's going to be it. Now, another aspect that you might have seen in most Typeforms, we can see it in the example as well, is the fact that you have a progress bar. So you can have it either by percentage or proportional. The proportional one is only applicable if you have logic jumps, something that we've talked in the previous video. In the second video, you can go and check that to see how to implement those. So basically that just shows you how to take steps from one question to another based on the responses that they already gave you. And this is the way that you're going to see the progress bar. So basically you've answered to 4 questions out of 10 and things like that. Okay, and then there's the message. So basically the standard messages that are in the Typeform can be personalized from here. So like press enter that you see next to each button to basically tell people to enter. You can change this. You have them here, and I think that most of them can be changed. Yeah, so you just have to click and then you can change what it's written there. Also, the error messages and other aspects. I don't really enter into this part, but I know that I've needed to once in a Typeform because I needed to personalize one of the message that were written there. Okay, so I was saying before that sending emails to me, basically the self notification doesn't help me that much in Typeform, but I use other ways to do it, and that is with the integration. So basically, through Zapier, they have lots of integrations you can do. So either the fact that you have you send your entries to a Google Sheet or to MailChimp, you're integrated to Trello or whatever you're using. I personally like the one with Slack because I have a channel and I get the notifications there if someone has written something new, and you can just use this with Zap, and it's really easy to connect the softwares that you're using. Okay, now we talked about the share menu last time, and so I'm going to go a little bit to analyze in the last part of our video here. Basically, here you'll have all the information that you've gathered from everyone. In the first part, you're going to see a little bit an overview, so like how many people have come from what type of devices, how many of them have completed everything. So basically on this one, you don't have that much information because it's not one that I've sent to people, but mostly it's just the 2 times that I visited the Typeform. And you can either see it on unique visits or total visits. And there are some overall information that might be useful for you. But what it's actually the most important part, and for my opinion, when you're doing the Typeform, is to see the actual results here. And you're going to see here each person and each answer for their question. And you can also, they are usually, you can sort them through date from here. And you can also download all the responses in a CSV format. So I think that that's really useful. If you think that it's useful for you for the Typeform, depending how you're implementing in your marketing strategy, you can also add the Google Analytics to the Typeform in order to be able to track the traffic that you're getting. And the last thing that I also find it useful as a visual element are the general reports. So basically here you can go through the Typeform and basically see the questions and then see how many people have answered with which one of the options that they have, the choices that they have in the questions. And this is useful for presentations, or if you need a more visual representation, because you don't need to create it on the results that you already have. You can just come here to the report, maybe print it out if you need it, or just open the report in a different URL and present it directly from here. So I think that this is about it. This was the final video I did on Typeform. Today we basically discussed about design, how you can personalize your team, your color, the background even, the configure on how to send emails and how to integrate it with different platforms, and also the Analyze tab where you could see all this information, the results, the metrics, and the reports that Typeform can generate from you. I'm going to check now to see if you have any questions for me today. As far as I can see, there are no questions. But if anything comes to mind, please do leave your questions in the comment section, either if they're about Typeform or if you have any other platforms you'd like us to review and tell you more on how to use them and implement them in order to get growth.